Happy Thursday morning, everybody. It is cold in St. Louis, Missouri. 13 degrees right here where I live in Arnold, Missouri. Did you know I live about 17 miles south of the Arch? Yes, Interstate 55. Pretend you're going to Memphis to see Elvis. You go down 55 south, and there it is, Arnold, Missouri, our legendary Arnold Water Tower. The Arnold Water Tower is right on the interstate, and everybody sees it. People send me pictures all the time. They go, Herman, here's a picture of your water tower. There's a lot of water in that water tower. And boy, that sure is a sad deal out there in California. And we're going to talk about that. Yes, we are. And we're going to talk about why I'm able to talk about that. First thing we're going to talk about is something very controversial. Herman, how many grades did you go through? 1 through 12, Fox Senior High, graduated in 1981. All right, they're going to talk about this coffee cup as long as I'm alive, so we're going to break it down. And then they're not going to see this coffee with Kenny, and then I'll tell them again. All right. You see that? See how that works? Now, if I did something like this, that'd be no good. You see that? I told you veterans. So in other words, all you Coffee with Kenny people, I love you so much. I do. I love you. I care about you because you're so nice to me. But some of the silly ones, they're like, hey, Wallace, I don't believe you hold that coffee cup up that long, and then they act silly. So I started doing that, and I already told you I held it like this when I had I got 2 torn tendons. They're torn to 80%. So when they put me in the MRI machine, I went through rehab and worked on my shoulder and used all these rubber band techniques. Yes, rubber band techniques. And I said, what are we doing with my shoulder? They said, well, what we're doing is we're waking up all the little muscles that you've never used to make that muscle stronger. Of course, a little bit of heat, a little bit of cold. But anyway, they said, just make sure you keep your arm tucked in. That way we don't have to do surgery. And I said, is surgery in my future? They said, oh, yeah, if you get too aggressive with it. So if I do all this and I do, I guess I could do that, no problem. But I held it up like this, caught myself doing it, and then everybody started talking about it. Made my mom so mad. Oh, my mom was devastated. She wrote me this letter, had capital letters. She's like screaming at me with exclamation marks. I started laughing. I said, she's mad because I'm holding my coffee cup up. Well, that leads to another psychological issue in people today. What is it when you don't like something somebody's doing, right? Well, nowadays with social media, you tell them. But do you know I've never had anybody in person come up to me and go, Herman, why do you hold that coffee mug up? Nobody. I see millions of people in person. Nobody has ever once come up to me in person, and said, why do you hold that coffee mug up? They just say it in a text or on social media. So then, we went to Indianapolis, and then I held the Indianapolis Motor Speedway coffee cup like this. And Doug Bowles, the president, he made a big deal out of it. He loved it. And I went, When the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway talked about me holding this coffee mug up, I went, I think there's a sponsor there. And then I had a lot of people walk up to me and say, you need to get a sponsor for your coffee cup. Now think about it. Nobody came up to me talking about me holding the coffee cup up. And when they saw me in real, they never came up to me. However, they did come up to me and go, you need to get a sponsor for your coffee cup for coffee with Kenny. So that's the story, everybody. I hope that answers everybody's question. I hold the coffee mug up like this because I have 2 torn tendons and it makes my arm feel better. And then people complained about it so much that they gave me an idea. So, and then there's people that like me and they say, hey, Herman, cups up. You know, like beer up, like cheers, you know, good morning, cups up. So anyway, I want to thank Sunoco and, Fred McConnell. Now Sunoco's, on Coffee with Kenny. They're sponsoring the dirt car. The design is done. I'm going to drive for Nick Hoffman at Volusia. We're going to start racing January 30th through February 8th, and the car is going to look good. All right. We are going to talk about the fires out there in California. And I want to throw a disclaimer out. And I know this is going to shock a lot of you. Did you know I was born August 23rd, 1963? And I mean this nice. It's come out a little smart ass though. I'm a little over 61 years old. Now, I know I act young, and I am young at heart. And I feel like I'm in good shape. But I did go all the way 1 through 12, and I negotiated $1 million sponsorships. I signed my own contracts. I own my own home, pay my taxes, take trash out. So I am smart enough to talk about the fire out there. And for the people that want to say, stick to racing, here's what I say about that. Go yourself, okay? I'm a grown man, and I ought to be able to talk about things. It's called current affairs. They taught it to us in high school, current affairs. So yesterday, I said something very seriously. Just like everybody else, just like all of you, don't tell me you're not paying attention to the biggest news item almost in the world right now, the California fires. It's the most Armageddon thing you're going to see in ages. I mean, it's like somebody's out there with a blowtorch just torching everybody's homes down. I asked myself, how in the hell does a car, did y'all see that car on the PCH? Kim and I made commercials out there. I know all about the Pacific Coast Highway. I drove a motorhome up and down that highway a lot because I did some commercials. Kim and I both. So I know about the PCH, okay? I know all about it. But what's amazing is the fire comes down the hill, jumps over the highway, attaches itself to a metal car, and then torches that car to the ground so much to where it's melting. Now, yesterday, I said, this is so sad. This is burning these people's homes down. And the reporter's sitting right there, standing there, Trace Gowdy or whatever his name is, on Fox. He says, there's no water to put these homes out, as these homes sit literally on water, on the ocean. That was my point. I was not ready to argue with anybody. I'm saying to myself, and I was careful with my text, because, boy, you can light a firestorm if you say the wrong words. But on Coffee with Kenny, we just say it the way it needs to be said, because you can see my face. What I was merely saying was there was the reporter going, these homes are on fire and there's no water to put them out, while there's the ocean right there, because the homes are sitting on the ocean. And somehow all the rocks that are on the ocean caught on fire too. They're black now. It's the craziest damn thing I've ever seen in my life. Then it's like, where's all the water at? They said, oh, we don't got any water. You're like, California. I wish they all could be California girls. The East Coast girls are hip. I really dig those styles they wear. But California, man, California, they're awesome. They got it going on. California, we're awesome out here. They said, where's the water to put the fires out? And the officials, they said, we don't have any water, we're out. We're out of water. And that's another story. But you know what? I'm going to stop right there because I can see right now if I even keep talking about it, I'm not even going to try to argue with some of you people because you're going to make a reason up. All I'm going to say, hey, Herman, talk right. All I'm going to say is this. I'm creating content. I see all of you on my timeline right now talking about it. So I figured I'd make a coffee with Kenny about it. They're out of water. What in the world? All right, everybody. I can talk a lot more about it. I've never seen anything like it in my life. It's so sad. So now when these homes catch on fire, they watch them burn because they're out of water. They have no water in California. That is the most messed up thing I've ever heard in my life. Wow. My prayers to everybody out there. And boy, don't say, why can't you use that salt water just to put some fires out? Because see, here's why. If I went 1 through 12, right? I said, there's the ocean. Use that water to put that fire out. They said, oh, you can't use fire water because it'll hurt the earth and it'll corrode their machinery up. I'm like, what if you take that salt water, put that house out, okay? Put the house out that's sitting on the ocean. That way the other homes don't catch on fire. What's wrong with that? Why not take the salt water to put the fire out on the house that is sitting on the ocean, on the sand? So you just put the salt right back on itself. Because all those homes that burn, a lot of them were right on the ocean. You put 1 or 2 out, and that way the rest of them, it's like a chain effect. It's like just a chain leak effect. You take that ocean water, there should be pumps. We all know that. There should be pumps all up and down the PCH that are out into the ocean. Your house catches on fire. Your house is sitting on salt water. Your house is built on salt water. Take the salt water to put the house out that's sitting on salt water. All right. Have a great Thursday, everybody.